Hi everyone who is joining in right now. I'm just waiting for a few more people to join and I will start my session. So this is going to be a session for about 45 minutes to 1 hour and I am about to tell a story to you which I have written. Just waiting for a few more people to join in. So Namaste, India. Hi, America, and all our viewers at the Caribbean islands, and to everyone around the world who is watching this Facebook Live. I am Akanksha Thaplial from India. I'm a writer, brand ideator, and a podcast producer. I run a company called Audio Vani, which helps brand in producing podcast and audio content. So I have just started exploring the world of podcast, and as I was exploring the world of podcast, I started to again start my passion about storytelling and that's why I've just started one podcast which the name of the podcast is Ink Podcast, so there's a word play there, and it is available on Apple, Google and Spotify. And this podcast particularly has a lot of stories which I have written. So till now I have written mostly Hindi stories, but now I'm going to explore the English side of it as well. And thanks to the curator of a story club, um, Arun Bhagwati and Shivani Dalal, they have been supporting me and encouraging me that to come here and do a Facebook Live and tell one of my stories that they heard on my podcast, and they found it really nice. So though the story was initially written in Hindi, but this is like a challenge for me. I have translated it in English, and I am bringing it today in front of you. So there is another side of me, which is the yogini. So yes, I have been doing yoga for the past 5 years. I've been teaching it, and I've been coaching people with yoga. So um, this made me again, I started writing about it, and I have started a podcast channel again. So this one is called the Yoga Dialogue, and wherein I have read a lot of text about yoga, which I found really useful. And unfortunately, that text is so complicated to normal people. And so, what I'm doing is I'm translating it in a very easy language and bringing it on my podcast. So that's about my two podcasts, the Ink podcast, which has all the stories and poetry which I have done, and the other one is the Yoga Dialogue. So, as in the founder of Audio Vani, my company, I help the brands to create podcast, do some audio branding for them. So I have one client podcast which you can also check out. It's on food and beverage industry, and it is called the Soda Monk Show. So that is one show which I have created, and I'm very happy that that sort of content came through me, and and it all happened with practice. So being a writer, an observer, and a person who always looks for insight, it comes naturally to write things which actually people relate to. So, this is the first time I will be narrating a story in front of a live audience. Though it's a Facebook Live, and I have practically not done, it's not a stage, actual stage, but for someone who is always used to do storytelling behind the mic in the for the podcast or the audio stories in their own pajamas, sweet old room, and having a sip of coffee and doing unlimited takes, because there will be times when I'll be fumbling even today. So please don't judge that, because I am just stepping out of my comfort zone and doing something which I'm passionate about. So, this is my passion, which is actually making me talk in front of you and telling you a story which I have written. So, yes, I am waiting for a little more people to join in, and I'll be chit chatting till that time. Um, Yesterday I made a Facebook Live from a Story Club Facebook page, and I told you that today's show is about a story that I have written during the lockdown, and and apart from that, I also told you one more thing about me. So, how I became a writer, how I identified the writer in me. So, as a kid, I used to play a game called What Happens Next. So, during the classes in my school, there were literature classes, and people used to read all the stories beforehand and come to the class. But I was not the kind of people, those kind of a kid. So what I used to do is when my teacher used to narrate the story in front of the class, I used to sit and watch my teacher narrating, and I used to keep on thinking about the possibilities the author who has written the story would have made. So I started playing this game and guessing if my guess about what happens next in the story that my teacher is narrating is right or not. And like that, I slowly started sharpening my imagination skills. And I didn't realize that sometimes I used to create better stories as well. Then, when I grew up, I started watching a lot of movies, especially during my college time. And I did the same, I played the same game, what happens next. And it's a very nice thing to do. And you can even make your kids do that. They should guess what happens next, and it actually has the power to sharpen the creativity. And you will explore a very different side of you will also think that you will keep thinking, you will keep imaginating like that. So I would like you to play the same game while I narrate the story today on a story club storytelling session. And that is with me, Akanksha Thaplial. I'm from India, and as you can see, I'm wearing an Indian attire, so of course, that's the first guess, right? so, I want to just shout out to the people who have joined in. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Momita. Thank you, Ritika Bawa. Thank you, Suman Kumar. He's my uncle. Priyanka Preeti. Everybody who is here, I'm so happy that you have joined. You have taken out some time from your life and you are listening to me. And yes, so as I have spoken about my passion about writing, it is such a nice way to take out all the things which you have in your heart and take it out. So there are people who talk it out, and the person who write it out also and talk it out also. So being a podcaster, I have this nice power with me where I write, I speak, and I just express myself, because I think I don't want to do a dear diary thing for entire of my life. Yeah, I do a little bit of journaling, and but I love to narrate most of my stories, which I think people will like to listen to, like to hear. And yes, so whenever I write, I also apply the same principle of what happens next. So I am a writer. I call myself as a spontaneous writer. And unlike working on a client brief, working with a client and pondering for hours, storytelling and writing, it just comes. For me, it is from another dimension. It's not like a client brief. So I usually do this. I open my laptop with a small thought or an idea that just comes to me naturally. So I don't think a lot about it, because when I think, it just I can't get to it naturally. So when it comes naturally to me, I open my laptop, I start typing. So the moment I start typing, I start building one character in a line or a paragraph. I start playing the game. What happens next to that character? So when 3 to 4 possibilities come in my head, I choose the most suitable one and I jot it down. So when I start doing that, I keep writing, and usually I don't know, I usually don't know what's going to happen at the end of the story. See, the thing is, doing a thing passionately, stepping in others' shoes, your character world, and writing what he feels is very important. And I think if you are an empathetic person, you will be an amazing writer, because when you have a good sense of empathy, you will relate to the person, you will relate to your audience, and you can actually write things which people can actually read and love. So now, as I will do a little last shootout for the people who are here. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Monit Kapoor. Thank you, guys who are here. So, podcast tools you prefer. So, podcast is actually growing up so much these days, and I will get back to you at the end of my story. So, stay there, Monit Kapoor. I'll be telling you. And thank you everyone who has joined. And I would like your support. And guys, a story club is there in about 40 countries, and that's why for Indians this my time would be like Saturday night 9:30. It's too late, but and it's a Saturday night, so eventually people would be like partying or all. But if you are in India and you have taken out time, thank you, namaste, thank you so much. And so this time is because there are so many people around the world, and as per the EDT and the PDT, these are the time which suits them the best. And this is like a time where a lot of people from America, from the Caribbean islands, they are watching, and they are listening to me. And there are so many when I got to know about a story club and what they do is so fantastic. So they are curating some really nice authors around the world, and they do these Facebook live session every Saturday night 9:30 p.m. as per Indian, like the same time which you are logged in right now. So at the same time, they do it every Saturday. So it takes so much of effort, to find out those people who can talk, who can express themselves and tell about their books and all. So first, this is the first time they are doing it with a non-author like me. I have not written a book yet, though the nice curators of A Story Club, they are, again encouraging me to start writing a book now. So Arun and Shivani, both of them are, they have convinced me to write a book. So hopefully I do that, and I come back again on A Story Club Facebook and tell about the book I'm about to launch. So hopefully this happens pretty soon. And so now let's start the story. So the setting of the story is in New Delhi, India. And this story talks about what happens with a couple in the lockdown. So the lockdown is all over the world and has changed the priorities, mindsets, and even the directions of our life, isn't it? So it has shown us the side of our life that we used to ignore all the time. Everything fancy seems to be less relevant right now, isn't it? And we used to spend so much of money on some extra stuff, and now we don't need it because we are just looking for the essentials in our life. So the essentials in our life is not only the milk, the eggs, and the bread which you're getting every day. It's more than that. It's the people. During this time, a lot of you must have also understood the people you really care about and the people who care about you really, right? So these two people you must have met and have realized that because of the hustle bustle and the all running around, you have been avoiding them, or you have been ignoring them somehow. So this lockdown has a little positive side to it as well. So that halt, if ever somebody would have told you, stay at home with your family for a week or a 10-day, you would be like, why would I do that kind of thing? So this lockdown has actually been a emotion generator, has been a relation revival and all of that. So without delaying any further, let me start my story. The title of the story is The Forever Lockdown. So let me begin with, I'll start the music. A little bit of music will be there. Yeah. So I've chosen a nice music to it so that you guys can listen to it while I narrate my story. Hope you are able to hear this. There was a pin drop silence everywhere. The morning sun was dull, and so was everything in the house. It was 2 months since the lockdown, and life had never been the same. Ananya was sinking in this meditative stillness around her. She never saw the city so still. She made herself a cup of green tea and sat at the corner near the French window of her house. It was a beautiful window with white drapes, and it was open a little bit. So the cool morning breeze was flowing and playing with her hair. And she was holding this warm cup of green tea in her hand and soaking the warmth of it. Just then, something broke the silence and startled her. It was a big diamond ring in her hand that bumped into the handle she was holding. Due to the sudden impact, Ananya almost lost the balance, and a little bit of green tea spilled on her hands and the ring. Thankfully, she saved the cup from the fall. Though the ring was beautifully cut solitaire in a shape of a flower that every woman would have loved to be her engagement ring. But Ananya, she always wanted things simpler. She wanted a simple, nice, slim band on her finger. But as the time passed by, she got used to it. What more, she even developed an OCD around it. So it was pretty funny. So she constantly used to touch her ring finger, and she used to play with the diamond, especially when she was uncomfortable or confused. So what she used to do is she used to fiddle with her ring and kept on rotating it and playing with it, and it was all happening subconsciously. She had no clue that she was doing it, but people around her noticed it. They noticed it clearly when she did that, and it was pretty irritating for few, and especially her mother, because as per her, playing with a wedding ring is totally an inauspicious thing as per Indian customs. So she told Ananya that, Ananya, stop doing this, because this is your wedding ring, for God's sake. And Ananya said, I don't do it. But in her head, in her subconscious, she was doing it all the time. But Ananya was actually oblivious that it was going to be a habit that was not going to leave her anytime soon. Today, as she was sitting near the open window of her house, she was holding the ring close to herself. The drop of the clear tea on the ring was quite similar to the tears she was beholding in her eyes. She looked at the photo frame on the wall, which was right in front of her. So the photo frame had a nice, pretty picture of the wedding, where Apurv, her husband, and Ananya were looking just the perfect couple. The perfection of the picture made Ananya totally emotional at the time. She couldn't stop the tears anymore. The waves of emotions from her heart sprinkled some salty tears out of her eyes. Wiping her tears, she saw some cluttered papers on the desk, which was right below the photo frame. The breeze was playing with the papers frivolously. She stood up and walked towards the desk to arrange them properly again. So as she was arranging them, she took a paperweight and kept the paperweight on the papers. Today, as she was sitting near the open window of her house, she was holding the ring close to herself. The drop of the clear. Sorry, I think there's a little glitch. I'll just change it. Yeah. Hopefully, this will not come. Yeah. So, coming back to the story again. So sorry for this little glitch. So, as she was arranging those papers on the desk, she realized that the papers were actually the papers kept carelessly by her husband Apurv in the living room. He gave her papers to sign just 2 days before the lockdown. He had no clue that he will face this awkwardness post that. He had no idea that after that conversation, they will be bounded at the home for another 2 months or even more. It is a total awkward situation, isn't it? Ananya and Apurv didn't know where the relationship was heading to. Ananya worked in an Indian firm from morning to evening, and Apurv had to work for the American headquarters, and his timings were different from Ananya. Apurv's boss promised him to get the morning shift after his marriage, but due to Apurv's outstanding performance that year, he got promoted, and he couldn't say no to that golden chance. Even Ananya supported Apurv. After all, she wanted him to be happy. It was definitely a good move for his career, but not a good one for the relationship. The weirdest thing was that they used to hardly see each other except Sundays, spent very little time together, but never discussed openly what was going wrong in the relationship. Isn't that bad? Isn't that happens to each one of us at times? The relationship was in a lockdown for years, and it was filled with forced celebrations like birthdays and anniversaries and family get together. One of them was always tired to do something special for the other. The worst part was, for months, they hardly talked to each other. And when they did, they looked at the phone's screen to catch up with the world and not with each other. So it was a pretty weird situation. Actually, Apurv and Ananya had a arranged marriage. And in India, it's a very common thing to get an arranged marriage. So they were in an arranged marriage, and it was really weird because the whole concept of arranged marriage was actually weird. Wherein, the two strangers meet for a couple of times and decide to commit to each other for a lifetime. Apurv and Ananya were bounded in the walls of arranged marriage, and they had no clue what to do. The house always reeked of emptiness and suffocation. The house they decorated together and thought it would be a beautiful abode. And then there was this coffee table in front of her now. She remembered how they took hours to select that coffee table. They took so many hours. They went from shop to shop together, holding hands and having some naughty conversations to each other. They bought it thinking that they will drink every day's cup of, coffee there. But unfortunately, after that, Apurv got his promotion and Ananya and Apurv hardly met each other. So all the hours wasted in selecting that beautiful coffee table there was all for nothing. Ananya kept her cup of the green tea on the table and noticed that it had a layer of dust on it. She took out a napkin kept on the side and started wiping it. While wiping, she also started wiping the dust from some old memories when Apurv and Ananya were the newlyweds. She started recalling the moments when Apurv used to return home late at night with surprise gifts and flowers. Yes, he used to come home at 3 a.m. because he was doing the shift from India to the American headquarters. So he used to come late in the, early morning, and Ananya used to be fast asleep at that time. And Apur used to get these beautiful bunch of flowers for her and surprise her with something beautiful all the time. Once he got to know that Ananya had watched a really scary movie, so when he returned, he entered the house without making a single sound. He kept his office bag on the side and held a torch right below his face. So when you do that, all the shadows that happen on your face make your face look really scary. And this exactly happened. And when Apurv went into the bedroom, and Ananya saw Apurv's face like that, she shouted out. She was shouting for like so much of time, and initially she was really pissed at him. But later on, they laughed on what happened. But as the time went by, these little mischievous and lovely moments started fading away. Just a moment. There were times when Apurv didn't even return home. And when he did, Ananya had already left for the work. And when she came back, she got tired and slept like a baby. Apurv also returned home and didn't have the energy to do anything but sleep. Days kept passing by, and the stillness in the relationship attracted the dust of ambiguity on it, just like the table Ananya was wiping right now with that tissue. The same coffee table which they bought with so much of love, with so much of expectations. They hit the last nail when they both forgot about their third anniversary and realized that this is not a good sign. This relationship was not going anywhere. They both agreed. But unfortunately, the conversation the conversation was happening inside their heads and not with each other. So this happens with a lot of us, isn't it? We have conversation in our own heads, but when it comes to our own talking it out and talking to people we love, we avoid that situation, isn't it? And for what and why? When Apur finally initiated a conversation about the problem they were having in the relationship, Ananya was not surprised. But she was shocked to hear the words divorce. She was always a woman who wants simple things in her life. But divorce? It was a pretty big thing in her for her. She was definitely not ready for it. She said, Apurv, you know the best. I can't say anything about it. If you want divorce, I will give you a divorce. If you think that's the answer to this whole problem, I will agree with your judgment. Apurv was stunned by her reply. He wanted her to get mad and speak her heart out. So he shouted at her. He said, Ananya, I'm talking about divorce. Don't you want to say something about it? To this, Ananya replied in a very plain tone. She said, Apurv, if I stop you today from divorce, this whole thought of getting a divorce might come to you some other point of time as well. If it has come to you right now, it can come again later. It's all that I want to say. So let it be. So they let it be. They just finished off this conversation and didn't interacted with each other after that on this. That was the last proper conversation they had before Apurv handed over the divorce paper to her. So Ananya felt heaviness on her chest that seemed like that heavy paperweight she had just kept on the divorce paper that were fluttering from the breeze a few moments ago. It was almost 2 months into this uncertain lockdown, and they both were living in an uncertain scenario. Initially, the days went by in recovering from emotional turmoil and office work. So, this happened with almost all of us. Initially, we loved when the lockdown started. We slept a little more than before. We had more time to eat, sleep, watch movies, and even do our work. So, they both did the same. They ignored the whole thing that it didn't even happen because they both were so tired for so much of hustling and bustling all through their lives. This was the first time they were getting such a break. But eventually, the work got less and they had more time to sit idle and think over. But they still didn't talk to each other. Again, they both locked themselves in their rooms or kept themselves busy with books or some web series or television. Apurv had more time than before. He forgot about the divorce for a few days and treated himself with some extra hours of sleep and working from the bed. Yes, he was sleeping in the guest room or he was always sitting on his desk or going out in the balcony to grab a smoke or just going out of his room to eat. But then he couldn't take the coldness inside the house. Every time he saw Ananya in the house, he wanted to talk to her. He wanted to talk to her but he felt bad, because he initiated the divorce, and when Ananya saw him, she felt if she and when Ananya saw him, she felt if she breaks this silence between them, things might get messier. And she wanted a clean and peaceful exit from this relationship. Because, in a way, she knew Apurv was not a bad guy. He was a nice guy, and they had a beautiful time together initially in their marriage. Actually, it was not a complete fault of Apurv as well. He had a very, very, very harsh childhood. His childhood was spent in a home where his parents fought frequently. He knew they were not meant to be together, but they carried on because they had to, even when they felt suffocated together. The Indian society is still very narrow-minded about divorce, and his parents belonged to a generation where it was considered a big sin. Yes, in India, divorce is a very, very big thing. And if that comes in a relationship, the whole society gets after your life. You have to think so much. You have to be, you get so much of free counseling from everybody around you for not getting it. And just like marriage, divorce is also not an individual decision. So that happens. So especially way back at our parents' age, divorce was pretty a big sin. So Apur's parents dragged the marriage. They were still married together, but not together like that, like a couple. When Apur felt the same suffocation in the relationship with Ananya, he thought that divorce is the best thing. He knew Ananya was the first woman he actually fell in love with and saw a lifetime together with. But he was too tired to think of anything else. He was tired to save the relationship all the time. He couldn't save the relationship and he was upset he was really upset. At this moment, Apurv was sleeping in the guest room today. He had a busy night with his American colleagues and slept till late. He was in a deep sleep and just then his mobile rang. No, it was not a call or a message, was not an alarm or a call, but it was a message from the bank. Guess what he got in a message? It was the salary message, the sweet sound of the salary message, which we all love. He got that at that time in the morning. He always received his salary on time, no matter what. Maybe because he was working hard in a reputed firm and he was dedicated to his work so much. On the contrary, he spent a very little amount of time with his wife, but she still had a larger impact on him. And he used to spend his major time, rather, he used to spend major time in, doing his work, which made him stressful and, he was dedicating so much time to a job which was stressful and making him crazy at times. And he was spending such a little time with his wife who actually made him happy. And now he was getting separated from her. For what? He was lying down on the bed, surrounded by blankets of thoughts. Just then, he heard some sounds from the living room. It was about time for Ananya's office. So he thought she might be logging in from her laptop, sitting in the drawing room, and that's why those noises were coming. So hopelessly waiting for another dreadful day to pass, Apurv finally got up. And he went to his bathroom, took a bath, cleaned himself and all that, and came out of his room. So usually this happened throughout the lockdown. This was his daily habit. So he expected the same old scene in the house when he opened the door of his room. He got used to the empty living room, breakfast kept in the microwave, and Ananya locked in her room doing her work. But today, when he opened his bedroom's door, he was surprised. Let me get a sip of water before telling you what happens next. So, play what happens next and guess what happens next in the story. So, what Apurv saw was Ananya holding 2 coffee mugs and keeping them on the coffee table. Yes, the same coffee table that they bought together as a couple when they were in love with each other, newlyweds, happy to start their lives off. The breakfast was laid nicely on the coffee table. Apurv exclaimed by seeing all of that. He said, "Wow!" And the moment Ananya heard it, she was oblivious that Apurv was already in the room and she got startled. "Oh, Apurv, it was you. I got really scared. Come, I have laid the breakfast." Ananya sat next to the coffee table, which was full of food and 2 big cups of coffee she made. Apurv said, "Wow, Ananya, so many yummy things to eat. I'm so excited." Finally, these were the first conversation starters for them in those 2 months, those dreadful 2 months. They sat down just like the way they met each other for the first time in a restaurant before their marriage was fixed. Ananya had wiped the dust off from the coffee table and also wiped all the negative emotions that were stopping her to save the relationship. Sitting idle in the morning next to the coffee table, she vowed that she has to do something to break the silence. She was a woman of lesser words. So she decided the best way to talk to a man is to make his favorite food. So she did it. After having that morning cup of green tea, she did all the cooking by herself and made a nice breakfast for her husband. A breakfast that might change the course of her life. She initiated it. Though Apoorv was the talkative one in the relationship, he wasn't brave enough to come forward with such an idea. He was not that creative. Well, thanks to the lockdown, when the doors to the outside world got shut, they could open doors to the relationship once again. Apoorv was sure. Apoorv was so sure that his decision for a divorce was rushed. The other mistake he made was comparing the relationship to his parents. His parents never loved each other. They were forced to marry each other, have kids because the society wanted to do them. But even though Ananya and Apoorv were married in an arranged way, they fell in love with each other after the first cup of coffee together at that coffee shop, where their meeting was fixed before the marriage. There was no bitterness. The only thing that went wrong was the efforts to talk to each other and spend time together. So, this happens in a lot of relationships, isn't it? We stop talking to each other. We stop making those efforts, those small little acts of making a bed tea, making dinner, helping with the laundry and all that. All of these matters. They are very small things, but they have a very large impact because you can do them every day rather than making a big grand gesture of a big trip and doing fancy things, buying necklaces and all that. If you do something daily for the person who you love, you will have a relationship that will be lasting forever. So Ananya and Apoorv were contemplating the same things. While sipping his coffee, Apoorv was feeling the warmth of love all over his body. That nice warmth was trickling down as he was sipping the coffee, as it was flowing down his whole body. He was feeling that this food, this whole gesture is made with so much of love that Ananya has for him. And what is he doing? He saw Ananya from the corner of his eyes. She was touching her engagement ring once again. Remember that OCD she had? So whenever she was nervous, she was doing it. So they both could feel the heaviness of several words in the throat. It happens to you as well, right? When you want to tell, want to express a lot, things just, you feel this heaviness here. So they were having that kind of feeling in the throat. And they knew that they could sense the positive thing that is going to happen next. But there was so much of heaviness there. Wanting to get released, wanting to get out, wanting to save this beautiful relationship they had. Now, Apoorv couldn't take it longer. He held her hand on which she was wearing that ring. Ananya turned and looked at him. She could see Apoorv's face turning red as they spoke. Apoorv said, "Ananya, I am sorry. I should have never forced you into a divorce. I lost the hope too soon, without making any effort. I want to start again. I will actually find another job, and then you and I can spend more time together. I think we didn't require a break from the relationship, but all we needed was this lockdown to ponder." So as I said, the lockdown was not that bad thing, right? The moment Apoorv completed the sentence, Ananya smiled at him. This sentence was complete, and so was the puzzle in her head. A tear rolled from her eyes down to her cheek. It happens when this whole thing happens when you expect something and that happens. So she expected this. She knew that this is going to happen next. And that happened. And she felt such an immense joy. She was not sad anymore. Apurv was speaking her mind. And she felt one with him after a very, very long time. She felt as if someone lifted a heavy weight from her heart and shoulder. She hugged him and they kissed. And that kiss actually felt like the first kiss they had when they met for the first time. Though they were married for 3 years, but they fell in love for the first time together. Together, they were sitting on the coffee table, enjoying the breakfast and making a memory that will last forever. A memory they will always talk about. A memory they will never forget. A lockdown that will be remembered forever. So, guys, this was a little story that I had written during the lockdown, keeping in mind what is happening all around me. Guys, relationships survive only when we give time and patience. I know our work is important, but at the end of it, a happy family is one thing you want to look forward to, right? If you feel that your relationship is getting boring, do something to make it alive. Do something. Little acts of love are sufficient. Giving your partners compliments, making a bed tea, helping the person doing daily chores is enough. You don't need to make a grand gesture, as I told you. There is no need to say it in the words. There is no need to say I love you all the time. Rather, you need to do things to make someone feel loved. It's a very strong emotion, love, isn't it? So, this was a little story that I have written, and I hope you guys liked it. And I will just get back to the comments. And I see so many guys have joined, and I know a few of you guys. Thank you so much for coming here. And I'm very happy that Marie Spark has written such a nice compliment for my story. And I know she's an author. She has if you go back to the Facebook Lives by a Story Club, she has also written a book, and you should go and see that Facebook Live. Thank you, Marie. Thank you, Rohit. And all the people who are here, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, guys, the whole idea of writing this story was to tell you that it is important. So, every story I write it when I feel it. So, I felt that during this whole lockdown, a lot of my friends who were working in, big corporations and all, they were always busy, and I hardly saw their pictures or hardly saw them together, like the couples together, until and unless they were going for a foreign trip to a nice beach or somewhere fancy. But during the lockdown, I saw people actually, clicking lots of selfies, making those fun TikTok videos, and, spending time together in whatever way possible, baking, and, when the maids were not coming at home, they were also helping each other out. So it was such a nice thing. And I think with my story, all the couples today, because it's Saturday and Sunday, make an effort, guys. Make an effort to be together, to do something together with each other, because all these moments you are making right now, they will be like beautiful memories you will cherish in future. So I hope my story went well, and I would love to hear from you on personal direct messages as well. And as well, I will be sharing this Facebook Live, and you can comment, and I will read it later on and come back to you. And so, as I told you, I have a podcast channel called Ink Podcast, though right now I'm only doing Hindi stories there. So this is the first time I have narrated a English story, and I don't know how it went. So I'm very excited to read the comments later on. So yes, so you can go to the Ink podcast. It's on Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcast, and also on Hubhopper. So there are other channels as well there where it's on Stitcher as well. So you can go and listen to my stories there. Also, my yoga dialogue podcast, which is very, very interesting because I have done so much of research for it. So you go and listen to the different concepts of yoga philosophy, which I have researched and made them into nice episodes that you guys can relate to. Uh, so that was all. And if you want, like, I have a small little passion project, Audio Vani, which makes podcast productions, helps people in getting the podcast done, helps brands. So I do all that as well. So thank you, A Story Club, for this amazing, amazing platform. And I'm so happy that with such a strong following you guys have in all over the world, and you gave me this platform, you provided me this, and especially the curators, once again, thank you guys, Arun and Shivani. You guys are awesome. You guys are doing a really nice work in the field of literature. This is going to be so cool. And there is another for people who are history buffs. They have a story club, history club as well. And I think that is also going to be a really nice place for all the people who love history. And so remember, every Saturday night, 9:30 p.m. IST, 9 a.m. PDT, 12 p.m. EDT. A Story Club does its shows with authors, with storytellers like me, probably better storytellers later on. So, yeah. So I hope I get inspired by this particular show which I did here at here, and I hope I get this confidence in being a better one with a better story next time. So have a good night, and thank you for joining me once again. Bye bye.